Good morning. I'm Barb Murphy from the office and I have a few announcements. So today is St. Patrick's Day. It's Tuesday, March 17th. And let's see what's going on. We've got Stretch and Strengthen and the CAC at 9:15. The ladies' social on the balcony at 9:30. Line dancing at 10 o'clock this morning. And then a reminder that there will be a blood pressure clinic in the fitness center at 11 o'clock. Cribbage at 1:30 on the balcony. And then at 3 o'clock, the 8th floor coffee. So join your 8th floor neighbors for an opportunity to get acquainted or reacquainted. Feel free to bring a snack to share and please wear your name tag. So that is in the social room. Also, of course, this evening in the York room, corned beef with braised cabbage and boiled potatoes. That's a deal at $16. I know that our family was looking for corned beef dinner options around our area, and they seem to be running about $24 to $28 for a St. Patrick's dinner. So $16 is quite the deal in the York room if you'd like to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in the York room. Also, the York room has a real fun event coming tomorrow. So it's a breakfast buffet, and so on Wednesday, March 18th, the York room will feature a breakfast buffet from 7:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. for $15. Beverages are not included in that price. Also, the regular breakfast menu will be available tomorrow, but if you choose the buffet, on the buffet there'll be fresh fruit, breakfast potato egg bake, bacon and sausage, and banana cream stuffed French toast. So reservations are not necessary, and if you have any questions, just call the York room. But that sounds to me like a real fun event for people to enjoy a special breakfast tomorrow, Wednesday, March 18th. Once again, the breakfast buffet, in addition to the regular menu, will be served from 7:30 a.m. until 10:30 a.m. A few other notices or items to talk about. The Safe Driver class is scheduled for Friday, April 10th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you're interested in getting a discount on your auto insurance, this defensive driving course teaches some basic crash prevention techniques, and it's taught by an experienced professional traffic safety instructor. And the cost for that is $24 a person. You can sign up for that down in the office and bring your checkbook, because you'll need to make a payment out to a specific agency for that class. So to make sure you get a spot, come down to the office this week, sooner the better, and then the Safe Driver classes will be held on April 10th. Also, due this week for those of you who have not handed in your insurance declaration pages, so that's called your HO6 insurance policy declaration, is needed in the office, and this is done annually. So for those people who did not get the information to the office, they received a letter, and the compliance deadline is this Friday. This is a very important requirement. It is required by the bylaws, that the bylaws do state that everybody is required to have the minimum coverage for the HO6 insurance policy. And if you have any questions, you can call the office and ask for Mitch regarding the insurance. Also, there is a notice up here from last week. I'm assuming that it's still is valid. There were some lights out in the parking lot, or people were saying that the lights, that the lights are out on the east parking lot, and management is aware of this. And, let's see, there's just issues throughout the parking lots with the outdoor lights. And the reason why there's a delay in getting that solved is that the electrical lines run under the ground and under the asphalt surface of the parking lot. So with all the snow and everything else, and with it being winter, they can't really address the issue with the lights in the parking lot at this time, but they will as soon as they are able. And with the extra time left, my last name is Murphy, and it is St. Patrick's Day. So once again, it's Tuesday, March 17th. And so my background is Scandinavian, and I married an Irishman. He's actually half Irish and half Norwegian, but he only claims his Irish half. And so my family was a little bit reserved with emotion and that type of thing. And then when we met the Murphys, they're a very loud and kind of gregarious group, and they hug you and they kiss you on the cheek and all that. So when I was dating Pat, it was interesting to be introduced to what they claim to be an Irish family. And so my husband is Patrick Danahy Murphy, and my second child, or our second child, instead of being a junior, he's Danahy Patrick Murphy. And so when Danny was probably about 4 years old, when he went to bed the night before St. Patrick's Day, I took a green marker and I put green freckles all over his face. And so in the morning when he woke up, I made sure I was in his room, and I was like, "Oh, Danny, you've turned into a leprechaun. It's St. Patrick's Day, and look at you, you're a leprechaun." And I had a little mirror in, and I showed him his face with all the green dots and freckles on his face. And so he jumped out of bed, and he ran into the bathroom to look into the mirror and to see, and he started, unfortunately, to cry because he thought he had turned into a leprechaun. So my cute little story kind of went south with poor Dan, with it turning him into a leprechaun. But I couldn't help but want to repeat that with our youngest child, Kathleen. So the next year, I had scammed with the 2 older children, and we went and put little green dots on Katie's face, and in that morning of St. Patrick's Day, we were all in her room in awe that, "Oh my goodness, Katie, you've turned into a leprechaun." And so Katie jumped out of bed, and the first thing she did is she wanted to look at her feet. And when she discovered that she did not have leprechaun feet, that she had not turned into a leprechaun, but that we had obviously put the freckles on her face. So that's just a St. Patrick's Day story that my kids retell each other every year on St. Patrick's Day. And so it's just kind of a fun little trick that Mother played on her children that obviously had a lifetime impact. So yes, the Murphys will be going out this evening for corned beef dinner. We'll all gather, and we'll have lots of memories of my husband's father, who was the 2nd generation Irish, and his parents. So his father was Irish, his mother was Norwegian. At this time they would have been maybe 105 years old if they were still living, and they lived in South Minneapolis. And so we will talk about stories of the Murphy clan and memories of St. Patrick's Day. And once again, a reminder for you to support your York Room and maybe dress up in some green and go down to the York Room this evening for your corned beef dinner in the York Room. So anyway, have a fabulous St. Patrick's Day and a fabulous week. Once again, I'm Barb Murphy from the office, and have a great day. Thank you.